Capricorn, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, let's see what's going on. All right, you guys maybe are a little bit tired. All right, okay, could be. Let's see what's going on. You have, all right, 10 of Wands reversed at the bottom, so I feel like this is a good tired. If there is a feeling of like tired, it's coming with a sense of peace, okay? So, all right, let's see. You guys have the 6 of Wands, and this is showing up for your current energy. Friggin' awesome, okay? So this is like, all right, so that whole like storyline about like possibly being tired, I feel like, again, it's for a good reason. There could be something here that you are showing up to, and there's maybe a sense of like having a lot of attention on you, okay, that kind of stuff. I also feel like you are in like the mindset of like winning, you know, that kind of stuff, Capricorn. And again, this whole like tiredness thing, it's for a good reason. It's like purposeful tired or purposeful, like pushing with a purpose, I want to say, okay, something like that. So, all right, in your environment, you have the 2 of Cups. So this is really nice, all right? If this is a person, I feel like it's somebody who is like, I want to say supporting you or is like in your corner in some sense, okay, that kind of thing. I feel like this is like really, okay, if there's something that you are like, you know what, I know I'm going to be victorious about it, I think that there's a good, I want to say a good probability or a good chance that it's because you're really listening to like you're listening to yourself, or there's something that you like understand deeply about like yourself or something here that you are like in the mindset of being like, I know I can be victorious about this. I know I can show up in this way, that kind of stuff. Okay. Really like hopeful energy. Again, it definitely comes with like this idea of like possibly, again, feeling, kind of tired. I also understand something about possibly not finishing something that I'm not really, we're gonna have to see what that's all about, but I am also picking up something regarding that. So, all right, let's see. For some of you guys, I also understand possibly like just support, like you might be receiving support from like a particular person who's like, you know, I don't know, like your best friend or I don't know, some person who is, maybe you're in a romantic connection with, okay, could be, but, or this could just be like a really good friend. I just get this energy of like being supported, but I also kind of want to say like invisible. Okay, I do want to say that. All right, so let's see. You guys have the Queen of Wands, and this is showing up for your challenge. So, Capricorn, if there is this thing where you're like, yes, I'm going to be having attention on me, or I'm going into this thing with like, you know, I'm going to win, or whatever the heck it is, it could be that the challenge here is maybe there is somebody who's like, oh, that is so extra, or that's so much, or like something like that, okay? That kind of stuff, that don't listen to it. Don't listen to it, okay? You're not too much. You're not extra, all that kind of stuff. Well, and if you are, it's for a good reason, okay? It's because you're extra, and you know what? That's good. That's good. I know I just said you're not extra, but you know what I'm trying to say, hopefully, Capricorn, okay? So, all right. I will also say if there is this situation where, again, you're like, I'm going to have attention on me, I'm walking into something, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, it could be that you're maybe challenged by maybe being a little bit nervous, okay, or feeling a little bit like, you know, not so much like out in the open. This is so interesting, Capricorn. This is interesting. You know what this almost feels like? It almost feels like wanting attention, and then when you get it, it's like, oh my God, oh no, like that kind of stuff. I can friggin' relate to that. I really can. So there might be something in that, all right? But I feel like that is like working through that. It's almost like accepting like, hey, you're allowed to have like a victory. You're allowed to be seen in a particular way, or have other people kind of like watching you win, or whatever the heck it is, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right. Okay. Let's see. So for your opportunity, you have the Knight of Pentacles here. Opportunity, the Knight of Pentacles. There maybe is something, opportunity, Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this is like not getting ahead of yourself, or maybe just taking something like one step at a time, that kind of stuff, especially if there is maybe a challenge of being like, either being like, I don't really know how this is going to end. Like, I'm going to start this thing, but I don't really know like where we're going, or something like that. Okay, maybe having to like figure out something kind of like maybe in an intuitive type of way. All right, that kind of stuff. All right, there might be something in that. I wonder if the opportunity is to just be like, hey, instead of thinking about like the end goal or whatever's happening at the end, you know, it's like kind of like starting again, like focusing on like one step and then the next and then the next. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So all right, let's see. we're going to get your oracle cards out, then we'll clarify your reading and see what is going on here. All right. I mean, there's definitely something about like having attention on you, okay? I'm definitely understanding that. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. You know what I'm also getting is being like, now I recognize them, or they recognize me. I feel recognized. I feel, so I don't know, what the heck, like something like that. Maybe even like validated for something, but I do understand like being like, oh, I recognize that, or this person or something. So, all right, let's see what's going on. I think we're going to start here. Okay, interesting. Chariot. I like that. I like it a whole lot, especially with your energy being the 6 of wands. All right, so you have number 6. When you feel the magic sing, and this is again showing up with your energy or with your current energy. Okay, so there is something that I feel like you're like, this is like the right time to do something, or maybe you're going back and forth between that. Okay, it feels like possibly in the past energy you have the reverse Temperance card, so maybe there was a little bit of like maybe not being patient with something, or maybe again, like I want to say, I swear to God, I'm really, really getting the storyline of somebody being like, you're too much, like that's too much, like you got to calm down, or like something like that. That's annoying. All right, like that really can be like friggin' annoying. And if you hear that too many times, you know what's going to happen? You're going to end up being quiet, being small, that kind of stuff. Okay, we don't want to do that. We're here to expand, not to shrink down. All right. Okay, so I do think that there might be something in that, Capricorn, okay? Either holding yourself back in some capacity, or feeling like this is the wrong time, like I'm on the wrong, like everything's like the wrong time, or I don't know, something like that, okay? But again, I feel like you are just in the energy of being like, you know what, I'm going to make this better, or this feeling of like, I've been called extra, I've been called too much, or impatient, even like, you know, my whole life or whatever it is, and now it's like, it's my turn. It's my turn to like, to be seen or have attention. I really want to say that. It's like your turn, okay? So, all right. In your environment, you have the Hanged Man with this 2 of Cups here. So it could be that maybe there was, I wonder if there was a switch up in something here. I'm understanding this Hanged Man as like, yes, a break of some sort, taking a pause, but I'm really more so understanding this as somebody who might be sacrificing something on their own behalf for you, okay, that kind of thing. And it could be because this person might recognize Capricorn's been waiting for forever, or Capricorn's been putting in like more than enough work, or whatever the heck it is, and it's like again, it's like their turn, it's their time, it's their turn, that kind of stuff. Okay, I also understand a random switch up of a partnership, that kind of stuff. That might be something that is like maybe unexpectedly happening in your environment. Okay, that kind of stuff. Okay. If that's the case, I almost feel like you might be filling in for somebody, okay? I am picking up that energy as well. So, all right, let's go over to your challenge and see what's up over here. You have this Pulse card, and again, this is showing up for part of your challenge, and then you have it with that Queen of Wands, okay? All right, so with the Queen of Wands, you guys have the 6 of Pentacles previous to that. So yes, I really do think that there was something that maybe in the past energy, maybe there was a challenge of pouring into one thing too much, or I don't know if it's too much, but it feels like pouring into something, okay? Being like, I'm really dedicated to this particular thing, maybe even giving something away, okay? That kind of stuff. I really understand that. Can I tell you something? I'm getting something about a watch, okay? This Pulse, like it says Pulse wrist on it, okay? I'm getting something about maybe like timing, or like a wrist watch. I almost want to say a pocket watch, okay? I don't know, something like that. I don't know what that is all about, but there seems to be something about that. What I also understand is, again, like that feeling of like being like nervous but excited, like ready to be seen, but like maybe a little bit like, I don't exactly know how this is going to go, or there's some things that aren't exactly like worked out completely, that kind of stuff, okay? That's what I'm feeling like is a challenge. I will say, I don't exactly pick this up as a major challenge for you, to be completely honest. It more so feels like situation, you know, something like that. So, all right, let's see. You have the Hierophant, and you have it with the Seven of Swords for part of this challenge. So, okay, I feel like there is something about it. Okay, here's the thing. We were saying this whole thing about like, okay, maybe it's like you have to intuitively kind of start something, okay, that kind of stuff, or just kind of like follow like your, I almost want to say like displaying. What the heck am I trying to say? This is a difficult one. I'm like, how do I say this? Because it feels like, I don't know, it feels difficult to explain or to say, but I do think that there is something that it's like relying on what it is that you know, or relying on something that it's like, kind of want to say muscle memory, guys, okay? I do kind of want to say that, all right? Something about that is like relying on that, or relying on like a particular teaching or something that you're like, okay, I know how to get into this thing, or I don't know, something like that. It feels like that is like what to do. And I want to say if like you forget, like if you feel like nervous, or you forget like, I don't know what you're supposed to do next, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, I don't understand this as being like a list, and it's like, okay, like what do I do next? It's more like in your head, or like an intuitive type of situation. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right, so I know that probably didn't make any sense, but that was really difficult to try and explain. All right, it feels extremely specific. So. All right, you have the Seven of Swords here. I feel like this is, I got to tell you, this could be showing you where it is that maybe you're holding yourself back, or there's maybe something that is like, you know what, relying on something that is like maybe traditional, or something like the way that like you taught something or learned something, or that kind of stuff, okay? There might be something about that, all right, that kind of stuff, maybe even being initiated into something, or something regarding that. And I feel like what's going to happen here, or what's being offered, is like a way to either prove that you maybe don't need a particular tactic of some sort, okay, that kind of stuff. There's something about leaving something traditional, or the way that it was, and that is providing some sort of leg up on something, or some sort of like way around something. I don't know, finding a loophole of some sort. I don't know how to explain that. I really don't. Okay, so definitely going to have to use your intuition with that one, because I don't know, that's what I feel. So really interesting. You have the Queen of Wands. This is showing up as what to avoid. You guys have the Queen of Wands showing up for your challenge. So to me, this is like avoiding not letting yourself be seen for something, not letting yourself like, it's almost like it. I wonder, Capricorn, I understand something where it's like you are like maybe a shy type of person, or there's something about that, okay? Or maybe this is a particular environment where like you kind of are like maybe a little bit shy, that kind of stuff. But I feel like other people would not agree with that, which is interesting. Okay, it might be that you're really good at like putting on like this Queen of Wands, being like, oh, like, you know, I have like, I'm not saying that you're like faking having a good personality, okay? Listen, I tend to say things, and they always come out like really offensive. I swear to God, it's not at all anything I'm trying to do. I don't know. I'm not sure, guys. I'm almost 40 and I haven't figured it out yet, so I don't know. But I don't know. There's something about that, like being okay with just like being you, being okay with like going for what it is that like, I want to say using your intuition to kind of like just do something. It's like, don't overthink, like just stop. Like that's what it feels like, because I feel like I'm overthinking and being like, oh, I know what it is. Nope, don't do that. It's like you're like getting in your own way in some sense. Okay, I do understand that. All right. So that's kind of, I'm picking up a good energy of that. So all right. For your opportunity, you guys have vulnerability. So that's what I'm saying. Absolutely. Especially with like double Queen of Wands, all that kind of stuff. Six of Wands up here. There's definitely an energy of like being vulnerable. Okay. That kind of stuff. Also you have this Oracle card. When you feel the magic sing, I keep wanting to say sting with that. I don't know why. Maybe you guys are dealing with a Taurus. Okay. There might be, I don't know, something in that. All right. But I keep wanting to say that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think there's a particular partnership of some sort that is really important here, that kind of thing. I just wonder if like timing is there's something in regards to timing there, or again, it's like stepping out of one thing, like as like almost like sacrificing one thing so that somebody else can like do something else, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right. Okay. I just got two people swapping IDs. I just got two people like here you take like they're swapping IDs. I mean, like their identification. So I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know what that's about, but all right, let's see. So, okay, yes, you have vulnerability, and then you have it with this Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands in the previous energy. So yeah, you have already, whatever victory this is, you've already experienced it. Okay, there's something about you guys, defending something or being like, you know what, yeah, like either defending something or being like, do not come any closer. Like this is my thing. I'm doing this, that kind of stuff. There might even been, a sense of, maybe even being vulnerable by putting up boundaries, okay? Being like that's my line. Like you can't come any further than that, or that's the thing that like bothers me, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, okay? There might be something about that, all right? That kind of stuff. It feels like I even wonder if this is you guys holding yourself back. I really am understanding something about that. It's like, okay, like I got this far and then it's like, hold on, let me overthink this. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's something about that. It feels like there's supposed to be a boost of momentum somewhere and we're like kind of missing that, but or we're building up to it, okay? That's what I'm feeling. With this vulnerability card here, I feel like part of this might be vulnerable in the sense of maybe not having, right now is not the time for perfection. Right now is the time to get something friggin' done. Maybe doing it again intuitively, or just being like, you know what, I'm gonna have attention on me, and I don't care, what maybe if other people are like judging you or critiquing you or like that kind of stuff, okay? That might be part of whatever your opportunity is here. That absolutely comes with vulnerability, okay? Absolutely. Especially if you're already in the energy of being like, I kind of feel like, I'm either like, I'm wanting to go for a win, or I know that there's like a tension or a sense of like somebody recognizes me, or I know somebody here. I don't know, something like that. That kind of stuff. I'm almost understanding like recognizing somebody out in like the world, and then like not being sure if you should like start a conversation, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know, kind of like trailed off at the end, whatever I was just thinking about, but there is something about that, okay? Partnership, something, all right? Maybe even thinking that's what I'm saying, thinking somebody with somebody else, like what is going on? So, all right, let's see. You guys have the Five of Swords, and you have it with the reverse Lovers card for part of this. So yes, I feel like there is something about possibly taking some sort of risk here. Again, walking away from like perfectionism, that kind of stuff. Maybe it's just like, like if you kind of lose your footing or whatever the heck it is, or you start getting nervous, just like, again, going back to something that like you can rely on, something that's like either traditional or like the way that you always kind of do something, or whatever the heck it is. That's kind of what I'm understanding here. But I feel like there is this energy of like taking a risk of some sort, maybe even separating yourself in some sense, so that you are able to get like a particular amount of attention, or you're able to kind of set yourself up for a particular win, that kind of stuff, being recognized, something regarding that. You have the reverse Lovers card here, so it feels like there is something about like maybe separating yourself, and then possibly understanding where there's maybe a lack of harmony, or where there was like, oh, that was the wrong choice, or that's what I'm saying. It's like the wrong person, or the wrong choice, or I don't know, a wrong decision, something like that, or at the very least maybe making a choice that is more harmonious with whatever it is that you're trying to like defend, or like back up, or something like that. I don't know what the whole backup thing, I don't know what that was about. Okay. All right. So you have the Knight of Swords here, and this is showing up as like what to avoid. So I would avoid anybody who's trying to convince you in any particular way. And this is what I'm saying about this. There is this feeling of already kind of like overthinking something, that kind of stuff. Sometimes with the Knight of Swords, like that can definitely not help that. All right. Like having somebody who's maybe like giving like their 2 cents, or I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe, I don't want to say like convincing you of something, but maybe someone who's like maybe let's say overly chatty, okay? Let's even use that example. Maybe this is something that you're like, I need to focus on this particular thing, whatever the heck it is. I have to separate myself, that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I need like space to kind of like focus on whatever it is that I'm doing, that kind of stuff. Maybe because there's like, yes, I'm not going to be a perfectionist about this, but I at least need to be like super focused and like working hard, that kind of stuff, like working on like the task at hand, not being distracted, that kind of stuff. All right, definitely understanding that might come with like maybe a tricky conversation with somebody that maybe you're feeling like this is kind of like I feel vulnerable doing this, or I feel vulnerable in some particular type of way. All right. Okay. I also want to say almost like not making like a snap decision on something. That might also be something to avoid, okay? I don't know, something about that, or making a assuming something really quickly, okay? Assuming something really quickly and then like that kind of getting in your way with something. All right, I'm picking up that as well. So, all right, Capricorn, that's what I have for you guys. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements, and I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.